Hi, my name is Taylor Egan, and in this short presentation we will be looking at the feasibility considerations associated with the charity event Charlie's Run for Kids. A feasibility study is of huge importance to event planners as it helps to determine whether an event can be practically carried out. By implementing a SWOT analysis of the event, it allows me to understand the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats associated with the feasibility of the event. I will touch on the economic, social, environmental, operational and logistical factors. I've researched and analysed many aspects of the charity. I've read online case studies and journals explaining the importance of the project cycle, and most recently I had personal conversations with the event director. Over the next 7 minutes, I'll explain what I have found and also make recommendations for this special community event. However, before we speak of the feasibility factors related to the event, we must quickly touch on the history of the event and why this non-profit charity holds such an important position in the community of Newcastle. There are two people responsible for the founding of Charlie's Run for Kids back in 2013. One of them was Charlotte Carr, also known as Charlie, and the other was Shane Waddingham. Charlie was fighting the battle of her life against all odds, but she still had dreams. The young girl wanted to raise money for the Children's Hospital Arts and Crafts section. Her goal was $5,000. To help raise the last $2,000, Shane asked his mates to throw in money and he would run 150 kilometres from Seal Rocks to Dudley to help Charlie reach her goal. However, just like everything in today's generation, what Shane was doing was publicised on social media, and before they knew it, together they had raised $39,000. The whole story can be found on the charity's official website, but in short, this was a defining moment back in 2013. It wasn't always smooth sailing. Young Charlie lost her battle with neuroblastoma in 2015, and hard decisions had to be made. But the event organisers decided that Charlie's dream must continue. Fast forward to the 23rd of September 2018, where the event completed the run for young Arlo, a young boy also fighting the battle of his life. This event was statistically the most successful for the charity, so now let's look at why. According to a journal published in 2010, SWOT analysis is a management tool that allows an organisation to better address their internal and external environment and prepare for effective strategic planning steps. For event organisers, SWOT allows them to recognise what they do well, what they can improve on, what they can control, and potentially what can go wrong. So let's apply SWOT analysis to Charlie's Run for Kids to look at the event's feasibility. Economic feasibility has many strengths and very few weaknesses when we speak about this event. As a special charity event within a small community of Newcastle, there is never a shortage of support. Sponsors and donations are enormously beneficial as they allow the event to host at almost free of cost. For example, the local butchers supply the meat, the local bottle shop supplies the alcohol, the local soccer club provides a venue, the list goes on. In return for these donations, the businesses or organisations receive free marketing and exposure at the event, with the belief that their kind gestures will influence the people to support their products in the future, which in turn can be seen as an economic opportunity for the event and for local businesses. One particular resource I analysed stated events can provide host communities with a strong platform for showcasing their expertise, hosting potential investors and promoting new business opportunities. But what this means for the charity is that all proceeds that are made from the purchases go directly to the final profit. A threat that Charlie's Run for Kids currently faces is the economic stress that families of the community have faced in recent years, with the price of living, in particular the cost of house prices, skyrocketing as a result of Sydney's inflation. In 2017, some areas of Newcastle saw house prices increase by a record 17%. Whilst that has plateaued more recently, this inflation created economic stress for local families, which threatened an event like Charlie's Run for Kids, as the family may not be in a financial position to make the same donations, buy entry tickets, and so on and so on. Social feasibility focuses more towards the community and the people within that community. They are, after all, the customers, the stakeholders and the investors. For a long time now, there has been a discussion around the importance of social inclusion for our population. This event acts as a perfect platform and chance for that healthy interaction. As I spoke about in the beginning of this presentation, Charlie was a young girl who was very well known and a popular figure within the small community of Newcastle. When this charity event rolls around each year, the community continues to show support, both in attendance numbers and in donations, as you will soon see. But whilst this tight-knit community is a strength for the event, it can also be seen as a weakness when you apply SWOT analysis. For Charlie's Run for Kids to continue to see profit growth, the event will need to expand and create more and more interest. It will also require more people attending the annual event, but with the current event placing a huge importance on the community engagement, expansion is tricky. As an outsider, it can be socially quite intimidating to attend. The third feasibility topic I analysed was the environmental impacts associated with the event. As I have already mentioned, the event is held at a local soccer field, and therefore the impacts on the environment are not too large. Foot traffic can create some small issues for the grass, as can the placement of marquees and pop-up food and beverage stalls. However, the biggest threat to the event was found during the environmental SWOT analysis: weather conditions. With the event being held in September, it is very difficult to forecast what to expect from the weather, which in turn makes some aspects of the planning a little difficult. The reality of the situation is that the event could be held on a 30-degree day, or it could also be constant rain, with temperatures not reaching 20 degrees. This uncontrollable factor creates a huge environmental threat for event organisers, which this threat then also leads into the final section of the SWOT analysis: the operational and logistical feasibility factors. Without having the ability to predict the weather conditions means the event organisers are unable to confidently plan exactly how the event will run, causing a potential operational nightmare. However, being proactive and creating a plan for exactly what will happen in each situation is vitally important, and I found when questioning Mr. Waddingham, the event isn't overly prepared for the worst. They put a lot of trust and hope in the weather, which is a large operational risk, and the ramifications can be disastrous. One very, very positive operational aspect I found when looking at the logistical factors was a close relationship the charity has with the local council. The proceeds made from the 2018 event reflect not only the hard work the committee puts in, but also the support our community shows to those in need. None of this, however, is possible without the help of the local council. This relationship means that many costs usually associated with running an event are waived. According to the conversation I had with the event director, Mr. Waddingham, things like road blockages, extra parking, cleaning fees, and even waste disposal bins are all organised and carried out by the council, free of charge. Charlie's Run for Kids is a non-for-profit charity built within a community for a community. Just like most events around the world, the profits gained from the annual event will determine whether the event is considered successful or not. It is clear that from my analysis that event organisers have created an event that can be practically carried out. The profit growth from 2013 until the most recent event for young Arlo is evidence of this success, but there is always room for improvement. I would recommend event organisers to become far more proactive in developing a weather control strategy. Without being able to predict the weather is definitely the biggest threat for the charity event. Having alternative venue options, some wet weather protocols in place, will eliminate the chance of total disaster. Wet weather at soccer fields would almost certainly halve the number of attendees, causing a huge loss in profit numbers. Another important area I recommend Charlie's Run for Kids organisers to address comes in the way of social restrictions that are attached to the event. As I have already mentioned, it can be intimidating for somebody outside of the community to attend an event due to its current everybody knows everybody type mentality. In order for the charity to grow and expand even larger, it will require a smart marketing strategy which can be done at no extra cost and in turn create a larger market for profit growth. Thank you.